What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. The situations here. We are live. 1 2 1 2. And yes, I said 1 2 1 2. In the place to be on the MIC. All right, about this time. We are not the Fat Boys. Now, let's take a look at this. From the angle it should be looked at and taken from. As I see, people are still not getting their notifications and having trouble coming to this podcast, not podcast, but live stream. Let's take it from where it needs to be. Jemele Hill was tremendous on ESPN. She gave them the outlook from where Stuart Scott, Stephen A. Smith, and the others come into play. She gave it a look in which others didn't understand. As far as a female black anchor, from a columnist to come up to that position, it's a very impressive situation for her. For her to make that's like leaps and bounds. You guys, many of you guys won't probably understand, but it's very hard work to do what she did in this game as a black woman coming into ESPN, and to still have your dignity about yourself. You know, it says a lot. Like, she didn't sacrifice who she was to be on the platform she was on. And when she had her platform, they basically didn't know what to get but her chemistry working with Michael Smith, who people we're so quick to call somebody Uncle Tom. We're so quick to call somebody a coon. We're so quick to label people. People never really focused on him. He looked like a sellout. Jemele Hill really hates him behind the scenes, which was not the case at all. You guys were way off base there. But her situation with ESPN was a personal decision that she decided to make, because they explain to you in the policies that they have. It's like, well, don't say anything that you wouldn't say. This is ESPN sports policy. I'm pretty sure it's everything. Don't say anything on Twitter that you wouldn't say, on network. Don't say it on Twitter, because that's all going to be connected. They tell you this. She's a columnist. She's a journalist. Okay, so she's looked at in a different light. ESPN wants to try to separate politics from sports when it's best suited for them. That's not true. She came in and requested a split. She's not going to talk bad about ESPN. That is part of her agreement of a buyout. They agreed to buy her out and buy her silence. But that's not the figure. That's a way, way worse figure than That's too high, and they would have rather keep her than pay her 6.5. No, it's not the case. Um, we'll get there. Now, during this whole thing she was doing as Donald Trump got into the White House, and all of these new developments started happening with the protests, the NFL Colin Kaepernick situation, and things started to take a political turn. With police violence, they've talked about this on their shows. They talked about what was happening with the Trayvon Martin situation. That was covered on ESPN. The Trayvon Martin situation was talked about on ESPN. Not at great, not at great lengths, but it was done. And since it was done the way it was, constructed, in other words, it's the perfect thing to say. Since it was constructed in the way that it was done, oh, Jesus Christ. People are hitting me up at the wrong time. But we'll deal with that in a minute. Well, Skip and Shannon Sharp is different because that's not considered, that show, that program that they had is not considered a journalistic show. It's an opinion based show. So this is a show of opinion. So therefore, they can make their opinions known. So Shannon Sharp can say what he wants. He's no longer a journalist. When he was on CBS, he was a journalist. Now he's an opinionist. So the fact is, when she started making bolder statements, she started hanging out with the Obamas, she started aligning herself with this group, with the Oprahs and all these political people, politically driven, agenda based people. These situations start happening. What's good? Somebody call me Mag. Oh, somebody must know me. So the situation is, it started to change. Is that you blowing up my phone right now? I'm like, everybody's blowing up my phone right now with messages. Do I think she'll be able to come back with another show? That's the whole plan of this. Listen, so when all these people that I'm telling you about, you listen to the Barack Obamas, she's aligned herself with them, the Michelles, and all of these other people. Then she starts making these comments about Trump and the president and all the stuff he's doing. And I inboxed you on Facebook. Okay, I'll check it out. And I hope all is good. He said, I didn't know you was on live. Oh, it's all good. I'll check it out. This ain't no ASAP stuff, is it? We gotta go there now. Once you said, I knew exactly who you was once you said Angel. So I definitely check it out. As soon as this live over, I'm gonna check it out and see what's up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll hit you up then when the live is over. Why do people think people are good just because somebody bought them out? Listen, Bomani Jones, you might see he's better and everything else, but what she did for black women in inner city youth, like she's from Detroit. For her to make it to the platform she did on ESPN, it was inspiring a lot of black African American women who don't look like her. Most black African American women, you see them, they got to have the straight hair, they got to talk a certain way. She was able to keep her swag, rock the braids, and be on ESPN as a anchor. That's rare. That's a good look. So when she started taking this avenue and going down this road of attacking Trump, attacking them, and being this complete like pro, she was taking a stance. And when you work for a network that have sponsors, you are a journalist, you can't take a stand like that. So you have to pick what you're gonna do because you can't have this position because you're putting ESPN, your job, they're under the bus. No, Mike just backed her up. Mike wasn't on Twitter doing all this stuff. Mike felt the same way she did, but Mike didn't go to the extreme that she did. Then she made some comments about Jerry Jones. She was warned, then they suspended her. But at this point, they were putting pressure, the White House was putting pressure on ESPN to fire her. And once they went through this whole process, she started crying because she didn't know what she did. So they said, you know what? Since she was so forgiving and not standoffish on this, we're just gonna, give you a hard warning. As we do, we're gonna follow the whole protocol. And the next time something like this happens, you'll be suspended. So properly, they ended up suspending her and everything else because she once again kept making comments and she didn't know she had crossed the line this time with Jerry Jones. So rightfully, it's like, look, you've been suspended. Then I hear you come with this extra stuff. So now she don't know and that's how they phase you out. ESPN, and I told you guys in the video prior to this what was gonna happen. It was gonna phase her right on out. They came in and they said, this is how much we're gonna take. All right, this is how much we're gonna do. And we're going to follow this protocol to lead her, guide her to the rocks. Kurt Schilling said these comments on the air. Jemele Hill never did anything on the air. She said something on Twitter. Kurt Schilling didn't realize that some of those people that he's talking about are his bosses. So yeah, he was fired. So yeah, they like, okay, Kurt, you're out. So Kurt got himself fired. Now listen, that has nothing to do with this. Now, ever since then, they had to make sure give her a tight, no, what they call that. There's zero tolerance policy. Now she's in the zero tolerance, which means you don't know what zero tolerance is. You don't even know, they haven't given you a guideline. So anytime you say something they could just basically say, "Oh well, zero tolerance, zero tolerance. We got them," and that's how they got her. They basically set her up for disaster when they told the lie because they knew if they fired her, the backlash they would get. So when she came back to work, they told Michael Smith that they didn't want any interaction with the two on the show. So basically, when they came back and did the show was different. Everybody's like, man, this show is terrible. The show is different, Joe. I can't get with this. And they started losing people. So naturally, now the ratings drop from they were here, then they just go down just a little bit. And now people are like, man, this show is dying. He's dead now. Because they ruining the show. They sabotaged it. So now she says something on Twitter. Now it's like, okay, that's it. She's suspended. And now they're gonna just cancel her show, put her on another program. She wants to just go back where she's off the screen and go back to just writing. So she was doing some shows writing, and they want to just keep her in the background, which is the background. But she was already hurt by this and bittersweet by what happened with their show, The Six. So Michael Smith ended up leaving the show too, and ESPN behind this, because now you done ruined his show. You done ruined his whole program. So he lashes out at ESPN and took her side. Nobody black came and stood up for him. And Michael Smith went out and did he stood up tall. Stood up. He could have just kept quiet, shut his mouth, and got his checks, and nobody would have said nothing. Well, of course, brothers would have called him a coon or a sellout or whatever. Oh, of course. Is Ginobili a Hall of Fame? Of course he is. Why would you ask that? Stephen A. Smith said that's their problem. Of course. It's always their problem. I mean, you got to look at what Stephen A. Smith did. I mean, these the same people that suspended him for taking up for Ray Rice. Then he told the lie. So he wasn't gonna rock the boat no more because nobody stood up for him. So where is she going? Well, she walked into the office to negotiate a buyout. She's like, look, y'all want to get rid of me and you don't want me bashing the network, which I don't want to do anyway. Let's just do a buyout. So therefore you don't have to deal with me next year. And we could be done. We could have a clean slate, clean break off. ESPN could not turn that deal down. Why would they? So she agreed to a $2.5 million buyout. And that was it. They paid her $2.5 million to buy her out. And now she's in negotiations for a new program. But don't think it's going to be sports, ladies and gentlemen. Well, they owed her $2.5 million. That was her salary. Why do people think it was $6 million? Breakfast Club says $6 million. I don't think they gave her no $6 million, bro. They gave her 2.5 million. I don't know where the Breakfast Club getting them numbers from. I don't know where they got six from. Her contract is scheduled to pay her 2.5 million next year. So where would they get six? I again take the one you want to roll with and roll with that one. But they owed her 2.5 million. They did a buyout of her contract, which was only 2.5. So why would the heck they pay six? They're gonna say we only owe you 2.5 million, but here's 6 million. Where they do that at? That don't make no sense. Well, you weren't gonna see her. That's the thing. They done took my baby off ESPN. They done took her off TV. She wasn't even on television no more. She was behind the scenes. So I'm quite sure she's been working on a deal where she's gonna be on probably one of these Oprah networks or a Fox deal show, or Fox will give her that bread. And she'll come over there and get her own opinionist show where she can have her own platform where they don't have to just talk sports. They can talk other subjects. Manchester United need to fire a lot of people. So we ain't gonna go into that. That's only gonna get me depressed. Nah, she got the check coming in. That's why she went in and requested the buyout. Her team advised her to do this because they already know she got something in place. They just want her not to bash ESPN, which is cool. They'll agree to the buyout and everything there. She left with a good relationship. So they all good there. Ken Kenneth, you must be very delusional. Who knows if Trump's only in office for 2 more years? The way things are looking now, he might not be in there another 6 months. You talking about 2 more years? He might not be in there 6 more months. Well, see, Shannon Sharp, as we said before, Shannon can talk reckless. He's an opinionist. He is not a journalist. On ESPN, those are journalists out there. Those guys are anchors of a news show. Okay, Undisputed is an opinionist show. First Take is an opinionist show. These are not journalists. Yes, she's a journalist. She came in as a columnist in 2006 at ESPN. And now she worked her way up to be a anchor of her own show, only to have it blow up. I mean, I didn't hear Shannon say it, but he probably did. But my thing is, what type of backlash are you expecting to get? I think that's a strong statement. Jamel Hill has done a lot for ESPN, especially for blacks in the inner city. Now, Dale Beckham Jr. is overpaid, but here's the thing though: whenever brothers get money, why they always post what brothers make? You barely see any white athlete get their money and it show up on the front page. Kevin Love's deal came through. That was the only one because he played with LeBron. White guy get a deal, you don't hear nothing about it. Black player get a deal, boom, it's right there in big letters. That's crazy. Know how much he made. Everything. Where he buying a new house? Okay, you definitely don't sound like an African American talking like that. Whenever somebody says Jemele Hill is not qualified to speak on race, she was calling black men and her comment she made about black men. I remember she made a comment that black men did not like. And y'all took it out of context of what she was saying because everybody saw a clip or something and everybody responded to a clip instead of listening to the whole thing of what she said. And I know, but she also made a statement saying that when she retweeted and what she was retweeting out of the statement. She didn't write it, she didn't post it, she retweeted it, and she actually put a statement to explain herself. But no one went through that. They just go right back and then the one line in there, she hates black men. They just went and ran with it. So that's social media now. I mean, that's what happened to all of us. Boxing articles, people read the titles and they start an argument. Joey already have a show. Joey's already paid. She's working right there, right next to Colin Cowherd. She's happy. Both sides are happy in the deal. I mean, they have a better. The undisputed now has a with Jenny. That's that's the best moderator they can have. She don't know how to dress, but she has the best. She's the best moderator for the show on Undisputed. Matter of fact, my TV stay on Undisputed. It's on Undisputed right as we speak.
Play a single snap. You don't think the Eagles coaches are up in the press box saying, "What? No, we were. They're saying Eric Rowe's in the corner. Let's go after Eric Rowe. Throw it at Eric Rowe." When you're coaching, when you're playing the game, you don't worry about what they're doing.
So Jenny Taft fits. She's perfect. Yeah, she's much better. She's much more engaging. It's just that her outfits are, my God. I'm like, who styles her for this show? I don't know what is this is her pick. I'm like, does she know she's on a what kind of show she's on? She's not on Country Time, Cracker Barrel. It's like she finna do the river dance or something. Woo! Ding 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 ding. Ding. I'm like, what in the world is you doing? You think I'm joking? Y'all think I'm just cracking some jokes around here. Look at what she wearing on this episode. I don't even know which episode this is. Look at what she got on. You don't wear that on the show. That's something you wear when you going to go shopping. You finna go shopping at a thrift store or something. You don't wear that on no show. Compared to what you were going up against and what we were used to seeing. I know she wearing the drapes off the curtain. I get it if it fits her character, but do you know what you was up against? From Joy dresses to this? You know how you dress is a big statement. You remember Joy came in like that. Joy wasn't a better moderator, but she came in prepared. He was like, she seems out of place on there. I don't see how she fits perfect to what Colin likes. Because what's her name is getting her own show. You got to remember that. Why they canceling Sports Nation? Because who watches it? Oh, Christine Lay. Oh, she'll come back. She probably right now visiting her family that stays down here in Carpentersville, which is only like 20 minutes from where I live. They were ready to fight me after Conor McGregor lost. That's like MMA town. Just stay in your lane, Christine. Stay in your lane. There was a lot of stuff that happened behind the scenes on that too. Oh yeah, it's a whole different scene that went down. I'm gonna let you guys know all about it, but there's a different thing that went down. 20 pounds of makeup. Who would you smash? Well, definitely Jemele here. Oh, she's not the only one leaving ESPN too. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things that went down that's going on ESPN that you guys know nothing about. Uh, that got more to do with Jalen Rose, and we'll get into that at a later time. Yeah, Michelle Beadle, yeah, Beetlejuice. Oh, she's staying with ESPN. It's just a whole different type of thing. She's moving more towards the NBA now. They pulling her. The NBA is pulling her in. Oh no, ESPN loves Jalen. Jalen ain't going nowhere. Nah, I'll just tell you, been a few issues with the co-hosting situation with Jalen. Well, see, the problem is they tried to put people who worked together before. I mean, who never really worked together before, just sparingly together to go up against to go up against Nick Wrong and Chris Carter, who you've seen together working together for a very long time. So that made a whole different chemistry as far as how people were going to perceive what was happening there. They're like, man, there's a lot going on right here. Like people hate Nick Wright or whatever. So they tune in to watch him to hear what he gonna say about LeBron James. So they tune in early in the morning and watch them argue and everything else. These guys are an opinion-based show. These guys are mostly journalists. Besides, let me see who really isn't a journalist up there. No, I think every last one of them are journalists. With Greenberg or Greenfield, whatever. He's supposed to be the main host of the show. Wrong. Nick Wright doesn't hate Kobe. Kobe don't like Nick Wright. Let's get that right now. He loves LeBron James. And by doing that, he knows Kobe is greater than him. So he wants to try to take anything he can away from Kobe Bryant. And Kobe can't stand that guy. Can't stand him. He's the worst when it comes to opinionists because he sits over there and tries to go up against Kobe all the time to make LeBron seem good. And that's when Kobe would put out the tweet like, why to make LeBron seem good, you feel like you got to talk down about everybody else? He's all stats. No, he appears to be all stats. He gives you stats with a slant to it. He don't give you all the stats. Kobe Bryant had to give him a stat that he didn't want to see. Now, when Kobe put out a stat, he didn't want to see that when they was like, Kobe shoot too much. Kobe's like, shoot too much. Kobe has the most assists of any player in NBA history who scores over 60 points. He has more than Kareem. He has more than Jordan. All these guys who put up 60. Kobe has more assists than all of them. And my thing is, when did LeBron become better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? At anything. When does he become better than Isaiah Lloyd Thomas III? At anything. When has he become better than Kevin Durant? When has he become better than half of these players that's in the league right now? Are you kidding me? I know airbrush bull crap when I see it. He never had the impact in the NBA as Allen Iverson. Don't ever believe that. Allen Iverson was way bigger than this guy. He was motivated by Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson took over Jordan. Nobody buying LeBron shoes like that. When LeBron shoes passes the Air Jordan, please let me know. I'm out of my mind and you out your mind. Do you know what Allen Iverson did? He changed the league. All these players are all kids of Allen Iverson. Look at them, all of them wearing sleeves. They even had Kobe wearing the sleeve. Everybody getting tats and braids and cuts. Who brought that in the league? AI did. They all wanted to be AI. Everybody doing the crossover like AI and ones. They trying to be AI. They wanted to bring it. Nobody was like that. Nobody was like Allen Iverson until he came in there. You start seeing the Kenyon Martins. You start seeing Melo, the headbands, the braids. All these dudes wanted to be AI. He is the father of this new generation. Like Lil Wayne is the father of all these other rap kids out here. He's the grandpa of them all. These are all their sons. Yeah, they just vaulted LeBron up there. Allen Iverson is what the negative part of it was. That the league was like, we got to come down on Iverson. We tried to put him up here at the MVP status. to use him to be the villain to go up against Kobe Bryant. They cheated the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks with Ray Allen, Sam Cassell, Glenn Big Dog Robinson. They was going to sue the NBA for criminal misconduct. If you ever go watch that series, Allen Iverson was by himself, but there was no way he could beat the Milwaukee Bucks by himself. The Milwaukee Bucks was devastating that year. If you want to know about corruption, all you got to do is watch that series. Anybody want to believe the NBA is corrupt? Watch that series. How it was officiated. It was one of the worst in NBA history. They tried. George Karl was the head coach then. George Karl called out and blamed. He blamed the referees. I mean, the King series only because the referee brought that to light, but we saw that live, so we knew what the King series was. So we saw that live. We knew they got a job, that they beat the Los Angeles Lakers that year. Without a doubt, the Kings beat them. But we saw what happened and how things transpired there, you know. So that was a big corruption that was swept under the rug. Nobody gonna talk about the Milwaukee Bucks and against the Sixers. That's small. Like you would, if that ref didn't point that out, you would have never known anything about the Kings. You wouldn't even be in here talking about it now. I saw it live, so I knew exactly they got screwed. But they're the Sacramento Kings, so who would have known that? You guys know nothing about the 76ers. The year Allen Iverson went to the finals, they were carried there. They were not going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks had them beat at every level at the gameplay. There was nothing the Sixers could do. They had to put Allen Iverson in the NBA Finals so that he could go and battle Kobe and Shaq so that they could have a true finals. Why? Because Iverson was the lead. He was the lead. And when he stepped in game one, when they won and he stepped over Lou, hit the shot and stepped over Lou. Oh, the very next day, every kid in the playground had on Allen Iverson jerseys. They didn't have the jersey, they had the Reebok threes. Reebok was smart enough to put out their own Allen Iverson jerseys, the threes. They didn't have the sixes on it or nothing. They just had three. Iverson. Those jerseys was worn. Everybody was buying them out. They were cheaper than the NBA jerseys. They was buying them Reebok Iverson jerseys with the threes on them. They had the black eyes, and they out there doing the cross. They got the headbands on. Everybody trying to do the step back. Then stepping over somebody. I was like, man, these kids is crazy out here. I'm gonna hit him with the AI. I'm gonna hit him with the AI. Uh-oh. Here we go. Here it is. Oh! I'm contradicting myself. How, Mr. Rosario Jr.? How? What have I said that's contradicting? I would love to hear that. I guarantee you, Maurice, go look on YouTube and see if they have that Eastern Conference final on it. I don't even know if you could find it. Matter of fact, Google Milwaukee Bucks players blame the NBA for corruption over that game and see what happens. I haven't seen nothing on it or Googled it since 2001. I just remember it because I watched it and lived it and knew how corrupt it was that they were ready to sue the league. The Milwaukee Bucks was ticked off about that whole series. I'm still waiting on my man to tell me what I contradicted myself about. Now the NBA is trying to promote him. He said first you said the league was trying to minimize his influence, AI's influence because of the street culture. Yes, you put him on a pedestal to have the big guy knock him down. The people like the hero. You have to put him on the pedestal, put him on the big stage, like they did Cam Newton. Put him on the big stage. Let who you want to win beat him, so it can be seen by everyone. Hopefully, you can understand that, Mr. Rosario. That's how it works. They want to put Allen Iverson on the platform, put him up there. Now you have your great nemesis, the guy with the tats, the rebellion guy. He's the MVP. Put him up there on the platform. And when they did, Kobe and Shaq, the good guys, they beat him. And what is the message, kids? Being like Allen Iverson won't win you a championship, kids. It's when you toe the line and have fun and you play together as a team and you're laughing and you're like Kobe and Shaq, you will make it. When they did to Cam Newton, kids, when you're a running quarterback and you want to scramble, look at the pocket passer, Peyton Manning, who could barely throw the ball anymore. Look at him go. That's the way you play football. You win championships like that. Defense out there playing hella five. The defense getting most valuable players. He out there. Omaha. Here it comes. What? Right, Von Miller, the whole defense got to win for him. So that who they show the most of? Peyton Manning, here's the Super Bowl. They had to have that pocket passer win. They had to have the pocket passer beat the running option quarterback, even though they failed to tell you that Cam Newton passed for over 400,000 yards his rookie season. While they labeled him the running quarterback, he threw for almost 4,000 yards. The first rookie to ever do that. Threw for almost the highest amount of passing yards a rookie has ever did. And he continuously got better passing the football. It's a shame, the hypocrisy, because people will do it all time and time again. Oh, they didn't want to give Wilson the credit, though. You see, Russell Wilson did things that they couldn't believe. But instead of saying Russell Wilson beat Peyton Manning, it was the Legion of Boom. See, that way you take it away from the black quarterback doing anything. He was just along for the ride. See, he's just along for the ride. I know, for some reason they cut my video on my album versus album. I wasn't through talking. And they went and cut it on us. That was crazy. I love the big three. I just wish it was promoted more than just Fox, you know. But since it's on Fox, I can see that, but they don't really promote it on other networks or anything. But it's getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, I do realize that Colin Kaepernick should have been running when he was passing because he couldn't pass. But then again, they kept a guy out there to keep him from running. They kept a spy in on him and made him the pistol play wasn't working no more. No, I didn't lie. I reported with the whole, so the rest of the world lied too when they say he was going to the big three. You act like I invented the rumor out of thin air. You lied. You said Kobe was going to play in the big three. Did you watch the video? The co-founder of the big three said Kobe was going to the big three. Oh, I got a big one coming. Because you know, you guys are all right here. You guys can click the link in the description box, leave a donation in there. We appreciate all the love and support we get on the page. But that's all you got to do. Click that link, leave a donation, and you'll get caught up on some real news going down. I'm finna make LeBron real mad. Oh, you got it, me. Just ask Jay-Z for an advance. Oh, Jay finna be real mad. I mean, LeBron gonna be real mad at this video. This information I got. Once I see my donations, I'm gonna go ahead and check my donations. Rolling Thunder, I see you, bro. I see you. You just did it too. My man Rolling Thunder came in here and rolled in with some thunder. So when I see them donations coming in, I'm gonna make that video. And man, LeBron ain't gonna like it. LeBron ain't gonna like this video. He's not gonna like it. And somebody might get fired. So we keep getting the donations. That video will come tonight. As soon as I see them donations go up, that video gonna fly. I'm putting it out. Of course, the Lakers are going to the finals next year. He said, "Good play." Let me see what's going on around. Oh no, you gonna. I don't know, but you gonna see some stuff pop up real soon. Real soon. Uh-oh, I see Mike. Mike then donated. No, Lambeer didn't foul Kareem. They know that. We supposed to have 3 rings right there. We would have been the first ones to do it since the Celtics. But I'm out for this live chat. We'll start another one in a little bit.